To the Prime Minister John Key, and it's saying that we, the undersigned, want you to stop all plans for deep sea oil drilling and expansion of the coal industry, and we're demanding a clean energy future. So that's a significant number of people. We did in fact write to John Key's office. We did want to deliver this directly to himself or one of the representatives he would nominate. We have heard nothing back. I suspect that's because we're not the bosses of an oil company. And that really does say a lot about that silence coming out of the beehive just across the road there is telling you where the government's agenda is and where its obsession with fossil fuels is going to come before the wishes of the people of New Zealand. So obviously Gareth, the Greens are doing a huge amount of work across the country. Other opposition parties are also doing a great deal at the moment. Obviously there is the EEZ bill that's going through Parliament, which is the Exclusive Economic Zone bill. And in fact, that bill is shocking how the government has drafted it. It is essentially, the horse has bolted. They've now decided to close the stable door, but actually the door's not there when they try and close it, because it's essentially there to promote deep sea oil drilling, seabed mining, you name it. There's absolutely no obstacle to the rest of the world's major industries coming here and completely destroying our marine environment. We are only months away from potentially seeing a deep water horizon off our coast. And that is not acceptable. And that's why the campaign and the movement and the political work and everything that's going on in this country will continue until the government wakes up to the fact that it's got it wrong, fundamentally wrong, and that this is where we should be going in terms of clean energy future. So I would like to present to Gareth, to Parliament. We hope that Parliament actually receives this. It would be great if obviously this could be mentioned in the House. It would be good that maybe a minister should explain why John Key did not actually agree to accept this, and also whether they are prepared to listen to the message. And if they're not, then obviously the government is taking a major political risk in ignoring the wishes of New Zealanders and just pushing on with their behind the scenes deals with the international fossil fuel industry. So the fight will go on, and I hand over to Gareth.
Well, I won't try and carry it to Parliament by myself. Kia ora, ngā mihi nui kia koutou, kia ora. It's wonderful to be here accepting this petition. I'll be tabling it in the House this afternoon before question time. Then it will go to a select committee, and what I'll be pushing for, along with other opposition parties, is to have a full inquiry at the select committee level so this petition can signal real action. Now, I'd like to congratulate all the groups involved, including Greenpeace. This is a fantastic result. 140,000 Kiwis, that's a huge number. Now, over the weekend at the National Party Conference, we saw Energy Minister Heatley, Resources Minister Joyce, the Prime Minister, come out very aggressively pro deep sea oil fracking. It's the key leg of their economic plan, which is to frack it, mine it, drill it, cut it, sell it. Now, the government's coming out so aggressively because actually they're on the back foot. They're not feeling confident about the economics. They're not feeling confident that they're going to see it happen. What we're seeing is all main opposition parties voting against their legislation, the EEZ bill. We're seeing legal challenges led by Greenpeace and Te Whānau Apanui against their permitting the oil block process, and we're seeing a massive response from the public of New Zealand. Because oil on our beaches impacting our marine life isn't academic anymore. After the Rena, which was only a few hundred tonnes of oil, Kiwis have been able to touch it, to see it, to smell it. Oil isn't academic. It's a reality for an iconic part of New Zealand and something Kiwis don't want to see in our marine environment on our beaches. Now, we know the benefits of oil drilling have been overstated by the government. What we know is we've got the 4th lowest royalty rate in the world. The government's put a dozen oil worker jobs on the skilled shortages immigration list. We also know the profits of these offshore companies are simply going to go offshore. So what we know is for 100% of the environmental risk, and the risk is magnified for exploratory rigs, we're talking about twice as deep in some block areas as the deep water horizon, where we saw the Gulf of Mexico spill. So what we know is for 100% of the environmental risk, we're going to see hardly any jobs for New Zealanders, hardly any taxes, hardly any royalties, and the profits are going to flow offshore. So I'm not surprised that John Key isn't meeting Greenpeace. This is all about supporting big foreign enterprises literally taking our resources, putting us at risk. It isn't about a clean energy future, which is what New Zealanders want. Now what we know is that in the first time ever in our world's history, investment in renewable energy has outstripped fossil fuels in 2010. The clean electricity market could be an $800 billion industry over the next few years. This is looking to the future. This is where the smart money is. Instead, the government's looking to the 19th century for inspiration. So well done to everyone here. You're sending the government a clear message. As Simon said, it's only months away, but there is time. We can stop these rigs. We can have a real energy strategy which looks to the future. We can do it together. Thanks so much for all your work on this, Kia ora.
And Tim Jones from Coal Action Network. There's obviously this is as much about the